There is a symbol found only in the most extreme contexts in Viking culture. On burial stones, on cremation urns, carved next to images of Odin. Never on jewelry meant to be worn during life. Never on weapons. Never in homes. Only in death. Only in sacrifice. Only in places where the boundary between the living and the dead was deliberately being crossed. This is the Valknut. 3 interlocked triangles, 9 points, and a meaning so powerful, so dangerous, that modern scholars are still not sure they've fully understood it. The Valknut is made of 3 triangles, interlocked in a way that should be geometrically impossible. Because if you trace each triangle, they pass through each other, weaving over and under, like 3 things that are separate, but cannot exist apart. The name itself comes from 2 Old Norse words. Vala, meaning the slain, warriors who died in battle, and Gnut, meaning knot, the knot of the slain. Already, you understand this is not a casual symbol. Every time the Valknut appears in Viking imagery, Odin is nearby, on the Stora Hammerstone, one of the most important Viking artifacts ever found. The Valknut appears directly above a scene of human sacrifice. Odin stands watching. A raven sits on his shoulder. Below, a body. Above the body, the Valknut. Historians believe this connection was deliberate and specific. The Valknut was Odin's symbol of claim. When the Valknut appeared over a warrior, it meant Odin had chosen him. Chosen him for what? For Valhalla, for the army of the dead that Odin was assembling. For the final battle at the end of the world, Ragnarök. The Valknut has 9 points, and in Norse mythology, 9 is the most sacred number. There are 9 worlds in Norse cosmology. Odin hung himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and 9 nights to gain the knowledge of the runes. 9 is the number of completion, of sacrifice, of transformation. And the Valknut encodes 9 points into its 3 interlocked triangles. Whether this was deliberate or coincidental, we cannot know for certain, but the Vikings did not do things by accident. Here is what makes the Valknut different from almost every other ancient symbol. We don't know exactly what it meant. We know where it appeared. We know who it was associated with. We know the context. But the Vikings left no written explanation. No text saying this is what the Valknut means. No ancient scholar wrote it down. The symbol carries its full meaning only in the images it appears alongside. And scholars have spent decades arguing about what those images are telling us. Some believe the Valknut represented the power of Odin to bind and unbind the minds of warriors in battle, to grant courage or paralyzing fear. Some believe it represented the 3 aspects of existence in Norse: belief, life, death, and what comes after. Some believe it was a mark placed on those who had willingly offered themselves to Odin, a symbol of ultimate devotion. The mystery is part of the symbol. Today, the Valknut is one of the most popular symbols in tattoo culture, particularly in the United States and Northern Europe. Most people who wear it do so for its aesthetic, its Norse heritage, its connection to strength and warriors. But there is a debate in the Norse pagan community. Some argue that the Valknut should not be used casually, that wearing it is like telling Odin you are offering yourself to him, that it marks you as someone who has surrendered their fate to a force greater than themselves. Whether you believe in Odin or not, there's something psychologically profound about that idea. Choosing a symbol that says, "I am not the one in control of my destiny. Something greater is." The Vikings had a relationship with death that modern culture has almost completely lost. They didn't avoid it. They prepared for it. They chose how to face it. A Viking warrior who died in bed of old age. Died in straw. That was considered a lesser death. A warrior who died in battle was taken to Valhalla. That was glory. The Valknut was the symbol at the intersection of those two worlds. The mark of someone who understood that death was not the opposite of life. Death was the confirmation of how you lived. And in a culture where your entire legacy rested on how you faced the end, the Valknut was the most serious symbol of all. It wasn't a skull. It wasn't a warning. It was an answer to the question every human being eventually has to face. What kind of person will you be when it costs you everything? The Valknut has 3 triangles, 9 points, no written explanation, and a presence at the most extreme moments in Viking life. It appears where death meets purpose, where sacrifice meets meaning, where a human being chooses something larger than their own survival. Most symbols tell you what to believe. The Valknut asks what you are willing to die for. And if you don't know the answer to that question, you might not fully know how to live. There is one more symbol we haven't explored yet. One that appears not in ancient temples, not on burial stones, but in the architecture of the modern world's most powerful institutions. Hidden in buildings you've been inside, encoded in logos you interact with every day. And once you see it, you'll understand that the ancient world never really ended. It just changed its clothes. That one is next.